Larry Souder, and welcome to Souder Friends. From 1976 to 1977, the Chinese government decided the best way to control its citizens was to destroy the country's youth. It was called the China Cultural Revolution. One man who lived through it and eventually became a world-famous eye surgeon in America was Dr. Ming Wang. He shared his story with me before a live audience. Here is part one of Dr. Ming Wang, From Darkness to Sight.
Thank you so much for being with us. I know you're a busy man and could be anywhere tonight except here, but we're glad that you're here.
Thank you, Larry.
Let's start with life in China and the Cultural Revolution. Give us a little background about that.
In 1966, I was 6 years old in a city near Shanghai, China, when the communist dictator decided the best way to keep on dictating was to keep people ignorant. The best way to keep people ignorant was to actually destroy the education of all the young people of the entire nation. So they shut down all universities and colleges of entire China and they forcefully deported every single high school graduate to the poorest part of the country and condemned each one of us a life sentence of hard labor and poverty. If any of us dared to escape back to the city, we could be jailed or killed. So in that 10 years of Cultural Revolution, from 1966 to 1976, they destroyed the lives of 20 million young people.
A whole generation of people.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And we were a very poor family then.
But they were doctors, though, correct?
Yes, despite the fact
that poor. Poor doctors?
Yes, everybody was poor in China.
Wow.
My father was a family doctor and my mom was a teacher. And their combined salary every month was only $15.
Wow.
So we're very poor. I grew up, never had a toy bought for me. I had lots of toys. I had to physically make every toys myself with the scissors and cardboards and glues.
Tell me about your family life.
We were atheist family. We did not believe in God. We did not believe in any religion or faith. My parents were atheists, and they taught us growing up that education was the most important. Education was the way out of poverty. I remember as a kid, Dad used to tell me that if you can master mathematics, physics, and chemistry, you can go anywhere in the world. It was in a family that focused on education, where education was everything, that I studied very hard when Cultural Revolution commenced in 1966.
Now you went through ninth grade.
Yes.
And then had to stop.
Yeah,
Why?
1974, I finished my ninth grade, and I was a straight A student. I never had a B, but that made no difference. The deportation order came down to my parents' house just the same as to the families of 20 million others. So I was kicked out of school. I was not allowed to go beyond ninth grade. I was not allowed to go anymore schooling, and I faced with this devastating fate of deportation and life sentence of hard labor, by which I mean that you will be confined in a field working as hard labor for life, earning $2 to $3 a month for the rest of your life.
Wow.
So in a desperate attempt to escape that deportation fate and not allowed to go to school anymore, I picked up a Chinese violin, a two-stringed instrument, to play. Because it turned out that if I can play a music instrument, or if I can dance, I might be able to get into what they call a communist song and dance propaganda troupe. If I could do that, I might be able to avoid being sent away, labor camp, being allowed to stay in the cities, because communist governments still need musicians and dancers.
So the government wanted propaganda, but not necessarily educated young people.
Right. They want to minimize, destroy the education of young people because it's people with education, with knowledge, who will challenge dictators.
And this instrument is called what now? Erhu?
This instrument is called Erhu, E-R-H-U. It's a Chinese violin with a music box covered with a snake skin. And the bow sitting between two strings. And because it can only hit one string at any one time, it cannot produce harmony. Harmony requires 2 notes, at least. So it's called Chinese violin, or erhu, E-R-H-U. I will play just a little short excerpt of a piece I played during Cultural Revolution as a teenager to survive. I play a piece written by a blind composer. And it's a very beautiful piece because it was imagined beauty, but he couldn't see. He was imagining how beautiful it could have been if he could see. It's called Two Springs Reflecting the Moon.
In Part 2 of my interview with Dr. Ming Wang, you'll hear the story of how he came to America with only $50 and a Chinese-English dictionary in his pocket, but with an American dream in his heart. I'm Larry Souder, and that's Souder and Friends.